Video games have made a peculiar shift in value over the years. It used to be you went to a store and bought a game and that was it. Now we have roughly three types of game pricing. You have games that are priced by the actual value or repetition and time investment, like Call of Duty or AAA games with season passes, where you're not just buying a game, you're investing in a pastime, and it will set you about $60 for the game itself, and $30 for the season passes, and $10 for possible DLCs and things like that. But AAA games use these prices to ensure revenue for their massive studios. Most of these groups are 200 plus employees. But sometimes the complete inverse is true. A lot of free-to-play games are run by established and long-running companies that are truly 100% free. The top MOBAs that I can think of right now don't even require you to pay to have the game itself. They are banking on the long-term employment for a fun and addicting game that makes the users want to buy cosmetic options or permanent characters to make their game more fun for each individual person. And finally, we have what seems to be logically priced games, which are usually attached to indie devs or small studios. These can range from games like One Finger Death Punch, which goes for about $5, to a lot of Telltale games topping off at $25 to $30. There's variance in price based on the size of the studio and the time invested in the product itself. For the purpose of discussing the values of video games, I will ignore sales and discounted prices, although I will admit that that plays a heavy factor in my own personal buying patterns. But to the point. 30 Flights of Loving is a game that costs $5 and plays for about 10 minutes. A little under 1 hour if you include Gravity Bone and the replayability of the same story. I apparently have 7 hours racked in that game, but I'm almost certain that I must have left it up at some point accidentally. So, with that thought in mind, what is the true cost of a video game? I always like to compare it to how much time I spent in comparing that price ratio to a movie theater ticket. Like if the game is 4 hours and $15, that's way less than the $10.50 I'd go to see a 2-hour movie. And so it will likely pique my interest because I think it's fair in my mind. But pricing has a realistic value in my head, so how much time will be spent on the game compared to how much money will I spend? Well, as my friend says, this game looks like Pulp Fiction, and it plays like the erratic last thoughts of a heister who is fucked up. The first couple of times I played it, I truly thought that. This game looks just like a movie, but it isn't as long as a movie, so it kind of loses a little bit of value here. But it wasn't until my last playthrough, when I was trying to think of content to compare it to, that it dawned on me. This game is not like a movie at all. It's like poetry. Every shot, every moment, every screen of this game plays like visual honey. It's gorgeous. The dialogue doesn't matter because the story is completely explained visually, and it's a transcendent experience for gaming. To quote the art dealer from Daredevil, people always ask me how can we charge so much for what amounts to gradations of white. I tell them it's not about the artist's name or the skill required, not even about the art itself. All that matters is, how does it make you feel? This game is a sensory experience, uncomparable to anything else I've played before. If you get the chance, you should give it a shot.